Hello everyone, welcome back to Porkies Collectibles. Today we have another great video for you. It's going to be another video in our series of how to collect and invest in Pokemon. Now before we start, I'd like to say please like our video and subscribe to our channel, Porkies Collectibles. Follow us on Instagram and check out our eBay page for all the different cards we're selling. We have a lot of cool cards for sale, so please check it out. So let's talk about the cards we talked before about the tier 1. So we did tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3, and we're the different tiers I recommend for collecting in Pokemon. We talked about Charizard first, which is tier 1, Blastoise, which is tier 1 as well, and we're going to finish up with the last starter, Venusaur, which is considered tier 1 as well. That being said, remember the price points, $1 sign being less than 100, $2 signs, which is 100 to 500, $3 sign, which is 500 to 1,000, and $4 sign, which is over $1,000 per card. Charizard, which I broke it up in 2 videos. If you haven't checked out the video, please check that out. It falls between $3 to $4 sign. Blastoise somewhere in the middle, $2 to $3 sign, and unfortunately Venusaur is more of a $1 to $2 sign. But as a collector, that's probably better because it's more affordable. So out of the 3 starters, it's probably the most affordable Pokemon to collect. And of course, there are a lot of great artworks and different collectabilities for it. So remember, scrappy, scarcity, condition, rarity, artwork, playability, popularity, and year definitely influenced my choices for these cards. So let's dive in and choose our first card. It's going to be a card that everyone is collecting right now, or at least pulling. It's not from it's no longer the latest set since Fusion Strike just came out, but it is going to be from the Celebration set. It is the reprint of the original base set Venusaur. Is the Classic Collection subset from the Celebrations. Now this card is actually not too hard to pull and actually pretty cheap right now. So this is the first card I'm going to go over. Now this card is a pull rate about 1 in 60. I think it's actually a little bit easier, but it really depends. PSA 9, I wouldn't really buy a PSA 9 right now, even a PSA 10, because PSA 9s are not, you can buy an ungraded copy for $8 to $10. So it's very cheap. I'd rather just you go out there and pick up copies of this and collect more of it than try to pay for a graded copy, which I think is overpriced right now. So if you do want to pick up a graded copy, I recommend you wait a little bit longer. Once the market floods in with more graded cards, go ahead and pick it up if you want then. Okay, our next card that I recommend picking up. This card I chose because of the artwork. So artwork part of Scrappy made me choose this. Well, it didn't make me choose it, but influenced me into choosing this card. This card right here is going to be right here. This is going to be the Venusaur and Snively Tag Team promo. Now this promo is going to be Sun and Moon number 229. This card, the reason I chose it, not only is it textured, but this is one of the few claymation artworks that I see, and I just thought it was really cool to see that. You don't see this very oftenly. Most of it's actually just a very generic stock photo that looks like it's printed on Windows 95, but this one looks like there's actually put a lot of effort into making the models for this. So this card right here, we're looking at about $60 for a PSA 10, which I think is very cheap. So if you can find a PSA 10 copy, go ahead and buy it. PSA 9, you're looking at about $35 to $40, which is also very cheap. But if you just want to collect a whole bunch of these because of the artwork, which I'm going to do, they're $8 to $10 a pop. So go ahead and choose this if you wanted to choose a promo that I think later on will do very well in the market. So that is my choice for the promo. Next card we're going over is going to be the only Vmax card there is for Venusaur. It's going to be from a collection. This is the Venusaur Vmax Sword and Shield number 102 Full Art. This card right here, PSA 10, you're looking at about $100 to $120. And if you're getting an ungraded copy, you're looking at about $10. So it's very cheap. Oh, and also the PSA 9 is around $35. This is going to be the only Vmax that I know of. That being said, with the Blastoise, which I showed last time, and also the Charizard, this is a very interesting artwork just because the flower is just overshadowing him, the Venusaur. You can see it's overshadowing completely. This card is another card I recommend buying as well. Moving on to our next card, it's going to be a card that we see from an older set, back from 2016. Not too old, but since we're in the 25th year, we're talking about the 20th anniversary as well. And that's going to be this card right here, the Venusaur Ex. This is going to be the full art textured variety of it. There is another one of this, but this is the one I recommended just because of the texture. This card is number 100 out of 108, and this is the X and Y Evolution set. You're looking at about a 1 in 21 chance to pull this card from a pack. PSA 10 is about $80 to $100, which is very affordable. PSA 9 around $30 to $40, and the ungraded is only $10 to $15. So definitely a card I recommend picking up. All right, moving on. Next, we have a different kind of rarity. This one is going to be a card that we already just showed, but a little bit different. This is going to be another Venusaur and Snively GX tag team. This is going to be a rainbow rare. Now, this rainbow rare right here is the number 249 out of 236. Anytime the number of the card goes over the set number, it means it's a secret rare. This is from the Sun and Moon Cosmic Eclipse. It is 1 in 67 chance to pull this card from a pack. PSA 10, you're looking at about $150, which is, I know, over the $100, but still very affordable. PSA 9 is about $75. And an ungraded copy, you're looking about $20 to $25, which is actually very cheap for this, especially for a rainbow rare that features one of the starters. So this is another card I recommend. Okay, the next card on our list is going to be a promo. Now, this promo, there's two different varieties of this promo. I'm going to show it right now. This one is the winner promo. There is two of them. This is going to be the Dark Venusaur, number 7, from the Best of Game promo. Best of Game, which is going to be on the very bottom here. This one has the winner symbol. The other variety just doesn't have the winner symbol. Now, this card right here was distributed at the Battle Zone event in May 2003. Event celebrating some of the best WotC era cards that were made. Kind of a parting gift for Wizards of the Coast, since they were losing their licensing rights back to Nintendo. So they were holding this event. They were passing these cards out. The only difference is this winner stamp, or the ones that won certain amount of battles at that event got this copy. Now this card, we're looking at about PSA 9, about $50 to $60 for the one without the winner promo stamp right there. Ungraded copy is about $20 to $25. The one with the winner stamp, which is right here, you're looking at about $85 to $100 for PSA 9, and then also ungraded going for $50 to $60. So very affordable, and then definitely one of the cards that is very unique in the sense that it's a Dark Venusaur. You don't really see Dark Venusaurs. Most of the time, like Charizard has a couple of dark variations, but Venusaur was the one that didn't get printed in the sets as a dark Pokemon. Okay, moving on to our next card. We're going to have a card from the E-Series era. There are going to be two different varieties of this. I'm going to go over both of them. The first one is going to be this one right here. This is going to be the Venusaur from the Expedition set. Now this promo, came out in 2002, was the first of 3 series. The Expedition, Aquapolis, and Skywitch, which Skywitch was the last print for Wizards of the Coast before they had to hand back licensing rights to Nintendo. This card right here is number 67 out of 165. This is the one I like more in terms of artwork, because for this set, there were 2 different artworks for each Pokemon, and which I'm going to show you the other one as well. But I think this one is the better version of it. As you can see in the background, there is the other one. That's the Japanese holographic one. Unfortunately, Pokemon English one doesn't have a holographic version of it. This card right here, you're looking at about PSA 9, about $65 to $100. Ungraded, about $40 to $50. As I mentioned before, any of the WotC era cards, whenever it's a reverse, it's 1 per pack. So since there's 165 cards in this set, it's a 1 in 165 chance of pulling this card. Next, we're going to talk about is from the same set, and I mentioned it before, is the other art of this Venusaur. This one has he's stepping on a Pokeball right here, but this one right here, you're not as popular in my opinion, or at least not my favorite. in sense of the artwork compared to the other one, as I can show you side by side. I think this one looks nicer. This one looks like a weird stock photo, where this one looks like they actually put in more effort to draw the Venusaur. But anyways, this Venusaur right here, we're looking at about PSA 9, about 100 to 125, ungraded for about $30. Now this is number 30 out of 165 in the set number. Okay. Okay, that finishes up our $1 sign, which is less than $100. Now we're going to move on to our next set of cards, which is going to be the $2 sign. Anywhere between $100 to $500. Our first card we're going to start off with is going to be from the X and Y base sets. X and Y base set, this is going to be the full art Venusaur EX card. This card I like a lot just because it's a full art. You see Venusaur up front. The texture is really nice. It's a beautiful card in my opinion. This is number 141 out of 146. You have a 1 in 35 chance of pulling this. PSA 9, you're looking at about 125 to 175. And it ungraded about $30 to $40 for this copy. Moving on, this is going to be a little bit different card. This isn't from a set. It's just like it is a promo. It's in the sense that it doesn't come from traditional sets. This is going to be the Venusaur from the Pokemon Rumble. Now, Pokemon Rumble, it came out during a time where the WiiWare game for Pokemon Rumble. And this was, I guess, the promo card. They came in a box with different other Pokemon. I think there was 16 cards altogether. There was Zapdos, Mewtwo, Pikachu, and other various Pokemon. And Venusaur was one of the cards. This is going to be holographic. As you can see, there's a Dratini in the back, but this card is a holographic, and the Rumble also is holographic as well. Now, this card, it came out in 2009. PSA 9 copy, you're looking at about $150 to $200. Ungraded came out to be about $50 to $80 for an ungraded copy. Okay, next one is a card that comes from the Gym Series era. This card right here is going to be the Unlimited Erica's Venusaur. Now, Erica's Venusaur came out in 2000 and is number 4 out of 132. Has a 1 in 48 to 1 in 64 pull rates. As I mentioned before, in Wizard of the Coast era, you had roughly about 12 holos per box, and if there's 36 packs per box, you're looking at about 1 in 3 chance. And there was 16 holographics in the box, so then you multiply it, you get roughly about 1 in 48 to 1 in 64 chance of pulling this card. Now, this card right here is going to be Erica's Venusaur, which Erica's a very popular gym leader, so it's actually usually demands a higher premium. Erica's Venusaur comes out to be around $200 for a PSA 9. Ungraded copy is around $80 to $100. So actually, I would say pick up a PSA 9 if you could. You find it for around $200, but if not, pick up some raw copies of this that were pretty nice as well. Okay, I talked about the reverse varieties of this card I talked about the reverse one of this one right here. This is going to be the Venusaur, also from Expedition. This is the holographic version. This is number 30 out of 165. This card right here, you're looking at about $200, $300 for a PSA 9. Ungraded copy, about $100, $125. This card is the only holographic Venusaur from that set. The other one doesn't have a holographic like I mentioned before, but they did print all the cards in reverse, so that's why you saw that one in reverse. The next card, unfortunately, I couldn't find my copy of, so I'm just going to show you the original base set Venusaur. This is going to be the Legendary Collection regular holographic card. There will be a Legendary Collection symbol right here, but unfortunately I don't have it, so I'm going to make do of what I have. Legendary Collection came out in 2002. This is number 18 out of 110. You're looking at about 1 in 57 to 1 in 76 pull rate. The reason why is because there's 17 or 18 holographics for this set. So it's a little bit harder to pull because of the extra holos in it. That being said, a PSA 9 goes for $200 to $250, and an ungraded copy is about $70. If you can find a near mint copy, I recommend picking it up. Since I couldn't find mine, I'm in the market to find another one. And it's actually pretty tough. So if you can find one, I recommend that. Going on to the next card is going to be another reprint of the original base set Venusaur. And that card right here is the base set 2 Venusaur. Now base set 2 was a set that was meant as a reprint for the base set, the Jungle and Fossil. And Venusaur right here is going to be the same artwork, just the same exact thing except for that base set 2 stamp right there. So that being said, the base set 2 came out in 2004 sets. It was number 13 out of 130. It's a 1 in 60 to 1 in 80 pull rate because there are 20 holographics in that set. PSA 9, $200 to $250. Ungraded, about $75. All right, and the next card, one of my favorites. It's also the Japanese varieties right here. It's going to be the Venusaur number 13 Black Star promo from Wizards of the Coast. This card right here, you got it in a Pokemon trading card game official Nintendo Player's Guide, and that's the only way you could get it. PSA 10 is very difficult because the way they packaged it in there, it slid around, print lines, all the kind of stuff contributed to having a really hard chance of getting a PSA 10, so it's a very low pop. So PSA 10 is very expensive. And so I actually got a price for a PSA 9. Now, a PSA 9, you're looking about, I would say $300 to $350. That's actually pretty high still, but PSA 10 is a ridiculous price. Ungraded, around $75 to $100. So I definitely recommend you picking it up. I actually have one for sale right now that's a little bit almost near mint, Lightly Play Plus. And I recommend checking that out as well if you wanted to pick up one of these copies. Moving on is the most iconic Venusaur card there is, and the ones I talked about that was reprinted is going to be this Venusaur base set. Venusaur base set unlimited version of it, obviously, because there is base set, Shadowless, and first edition base sets. That's a lot of base set I'm saying right now, sorry. This came out in 1999. This is number 15 out of 102. 1 in 48, 1 in 64. Pull rate as usual. PSA 9, $300. Ungraded, about $100. This one, I recommend just picking up unlimited copy. They're probably going for a little bit cheaper than $100 right now if you can find a good copy. All right, next is the original EX card for Venusaur, the OG. This is the Venusaur EX from EX Fire Red Leaf Green. Fire Red Leaf Green, yes. So this card is going to be number 112 out of 112. This is going to be an ultra rare, about 1 in 108 to 1 in 162 chance of pulling this card because there was about 2 to 3 EXs per box and there's 9 EXs. So you're looking at about pulling this one maybe in 6 to 9 boxes. Obviously, I don't recommend going out there and buying booster boxes for this, even if you could find it. It's better just to pick up a copy. If you're going to pick up a copy, you're looking at about $350 to $400 for a PSA 9. Ungraded copy, about $150 to $200, which I think is still very affordable for such a old card. So for the original EX version of it, I think this is a card you should pick up if you're into collecting EX cards. All right, this comes to our last card for the $2 sign, which is $100 to $500. This is a card I already showed before, but this is going to be the first edition variety of it. This is going to be the first edition Erica's Venusaur. Everything is exactly the same like I mentioned before. The only difference is that first edition stamp right there. Because of that one stamp, you're looking at a higher premium. PSA 9, you're looking at $400 to $500. And then for ungraded copy, around $200. If you have the money to choose over a limited and a first edition, obviously I would go for the first edition for obvious reasons, because first edition is first prints. Everything is more expensive when it is the first print. Just like all the Blastoises and Charizards that I mentioned before. All right, we're moving on to the next set of cards. This is going to be the $3 sign. For the $3 and $4 signs, like I mentioned before, there aren't actually that many cards. For the $3 time, we only have 2 cards. Our first card is going to be the same card we just showed, but Shadowless. This is going to be the Venusaur Shadowless base set. This one you can tell because there is no shadows on the borders. If you look up here, the HP is thinner, and then you look, Solar Beam is very tiny print. As I will show you right now, let me pull up the original base set Venusaur. Side by side, you see how small Solar Beam is compared to the Solar Beam for the Shadowless one. Same with the HP, you see how there is thinner, and also the borders aren't as strong on the Shadowless base set Venusaur. Okay, that being said, this is a very nice copy, which I'm going to try to get graded. Hoping for a PSA 9, PSA 10 would be insane, but we'll find out. This one came out in 1999 as well, number 15 out of 102. Same pull rate, 48 to 64 packs to pull one of these. PSA 9, you're looking about $700 to $800, and an ungraded copy around $300 to $400, which is a little bit pricier, but for a card that's so old and so much rarer than the actual base set Unlimited, because Shadowless was such a short print run compared to Unlimited, because it was the awkward transition between the first edition Shadowless base set to the Unlimited, that it's actually pretty hard to find a booster box. So don't try to go find a booster box, because most likely not, you might get tricked. There are different variations of the booster boxes, so it's very hard to figure out what is a Shadowless base set booster box. Okay, that brings us to our last card for this price points. That's going to be one of my favorite cards. I've already mentioned before, it's one of my favorite sets. Don't know why people didn't really like the set. As people have mentioned to me, it's because they thought the artwork looked funky, it looked fake back in the day. But I love the holographic fireworks pattern on this card. This is Legendary Collection's reverse holographic, number 18 out of 110. The pull rate, like I said before, for reverse is 1 in 1 pack. So this is 1 in 110 chance of pulling this card. Obviously, the card you want to pull from this set is the Charizard or the Blastoise, but Venusaur is also a very nice card to pull, which really shows reflected in the price point. This goes for about $1,200 to $1,400 for a PSA 9. Unlimited, you're looking at $350 to $500. This card is very beautiful. Recommend at least adding one to your collection if you don't own one already. If you can't afford it, I think played variety of this card is below $100. So pick one up just to add to your collection and complete the set. All right, we talked about a lot of cards. We're gonna finish up on our last price point. This is going to be the only card for this price point, and if you know the trend, you know what card is going to be. This is the only card that I can think of that would be in this price point, which is $4 sign, which is over $1,000, and that is none other than this card right here. This is going to be the first edition Shadowless base set Venusaur. I was lucky enough to get this card back in the day. This is a Mint 9 from BGS. I guess edges were 8.5. That can be, that could be said about certain things. But anyways, this is 1999, same year they came out with the other sets. Just they came out the first. It has a first edition stamp, so it demands a higher premium. Same pull rates, 1 in 48, 1 in 64. I think a recent booster box of the first edition base set just sold for a little bit over $300,000. So don't buy a booster box unless you can really afford it, which not many of us can. So let's talk about pricing. PSA 9, you're looking at about $3,500 to $4,000. It's pretty expensive. Definitely deserves it though, since it is the original first print run of base sets. Ungraded, not that much cheaper, about half the price of that, $2,000 for a raw copy. That being said, you have to find a raw copy of this that is near mint condition that you're willing to drop $2,000 on is not the easiest. So I would still go for a PSA 7 or PSA 8 if you can find it. And if you have the money to drop $4,000 on it, then go ahead and pick up a PSA 9. So those are the cards that I chose for Venusaur for those price points. And I do have a couple extra cards that I didn't go over. There obviously are other Venusaurs that I didn't go over. Some of them I just deemed weren't really worth my time to explain since there's so many Venusaurs. But let's go over a couple honorable mentions that I did not choose. Going pretty fast. It's going to be another Venusaur and Snively GX and Venusaur EX. This one is the one that looks... This is from the original base set for X and Y. This one, no texture. It looks very bland. The Venusaur and Snively GX as well, but this one's textured. A Celebi Venusaur, since Venusaur wasn't the first on the front and it's not the other way around, I decided not to choose any of these. There's going to be a Venusaur. This is from the EX era, Crystal Guardians. This is a promo, Regional Championships. More recent set, Venusaur V, Venusaur EX, another Venusaur EX, and the worst Venusaur card I think that you can find out there, unfortunately, is going to be this Evolutions reprint of Venusaur EX of X and Y base sets. I think they're trying to replicate the original base set by having thinner HP. I don't know. It looks fake. It looks cheap. I do not recommend buying this card. It just doesn't look good. Does not textured. Probably the one card you want to avoid. That being said, I'm doing a recap right now. Cards you want to buy. Obviously, I mentioned before, let's make a mess of those cards I just put up there. Pick up this promo for the artwork. Definitely a card that I really enjoy, and as a collector, collect things that you enjoy. So this is the Venusaur I enjoy collecting. That being said, I also like collecting this card here because of the artwork. It's very nice green card as well too. So this is another card I recommend of purchasing. This card is also again for the artwork. And then since I went for three different cards for different price points, let me just bring it back up there one more time. The last card I'm going to mention is going to be from the $3 sign, which is the Legendary Collection Reverse Holographic. So for three different price points, these are the three cards I would recommend picking up if you can. The Sun and Moon promo, the Expedition Reverse, number 67 out of 165, and then the Reverse Holographic from Legendary Collections. These are the cards I recommend. And then the don't buy, you already know. This card here, no good. And then this card here, just don't buy it in graded form. Just buy ungraded copies. So I went over a different Venusaurs today. I know it's a pretty long video. I hope it was informative and you enjoyed watching me explain these different Venusaurs. If I missed a Venusaur that you thought was very good or you think we should collect, please comment down below and let me know. But once again, it's great to talk about something that I like doing, which is collecting Pokemon. And I hope you find this video interesting. Please like and subscribe to our channel for other videos. And next time we're going to be talking about our fourth Pokemon in the series. And if you've stayed all the way to the end, I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to be Pikachu. Now, Pikachu I might have to break up into 2 videos because there's so many Pikachu cards. But that's the card I'm going to go over next time. So once again, thank you for watching, and we'll see you all next time. Bye.